properly maintaining the accounts. And then also, if you look at the reasons, of course, this has been there throughout of the depreciation in the currency from 200 to 400 to 300. Then the correct mix of generation, I think that was already mentioned, that is really the real reason, because today, even today, they are increasing the price because the mix is not correct. They are saying they will have more thermal with fuel coming in. Why not? Why you want to use fuel? Use the coal. No, that is closed for half the year. Now, these are excuses we can't expect from very qualified engineers. I think they should solve the problems, but not put the problem onto the people of this country. Then the least cost generation, is it there? It is there in your long-term plan, but you are really not having it. Then, of course, the lack of proper cost records and costing systems. Then looking at the expenditure, there is a 42 billion deficit. Who has given, has the auditors looked at this? Who has looked at this? We are just coming to the public and saying 42 billion, we are accepting. You remember last year what happened? Loss? Altogether profit coming. So 18.3%. So this is really something that someone else has to look at it and give a certification, at least that the draft accounts are in order. As said that we have accounts only up to 2022. But if you want to see the accounts, go to the Colombo Stock Exchange and they will put, because they are having debentures. Now see, that is a very big liability. So they must put all their accounts. They are putting only statistical statements. Put the accounts. Then we will put it on a quarterly basis. That is what we have to do, and I am sure that is a big responsibility on the PUCSL. In other countries, they have regulations and they have to comply with the regulations. Then, of course, they also say any variations in the estimate with an excess or a shortfall will be accounted for in the BSTA and considered in the next tariff revision. I think I am coming to that later, but I don't think that according to the accounting standards and all, there is a major problem there. I will come to that later. Then, of course, these accounts are unaudited, both financially and cost. I think I would suggest strongly that a cost audit should be done, for which they will maintain. Then least cost pricing. Then also that cost records, the consumer is the most important part, because including industry, commerce and society should receive electricity at an affordable price, what you call the consumer willingness to pay. තමන්ට ගෙවන්න හැකියාවක් තියෙන්න ඕන. අපිට ඒ මිලට දෙන්න ඕන. නැත්නම් ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ. Then I am also recommending that we should appoint a high-level chief cost and management accounting advisor under the Ministry of Finance at the level of a ministry secretary to ensure that all enterprises, goods and services to the society, සමාජයට at an affordable pricing and adopt cost accounting standards. දැන් අනිත් එක තමයි මේ අර mix එක. Now actually we have got hydro 3224, thermal 3814, renewable 2810. Now if you look at the percentages, 32, 38, 28. Now this 38, we should know what is the breakup of coal and fuel and try to maximize coal and reduce the fuel so that the price will come down. Now, that's the most important thing, because if you look at other years, I have just given the 2018 to 2022, that you find that coal power is maintained at least at above 30%. So if you don't maintain that, then we are at a big problem. If you maintain hydro also about 30%, then it will fall. But thermal oil should be below 10%. That is what I am suggesting. And the mandatory cost accounting records for the electricity, this should really be maintained, and I would strongly recommend that these mandatory accounts should be made mandatory. Then only that the cost records will be maintained, we will obtain efficiency, and they will then look into the least cost of operation. If they have the cost records, they can see how they could get the least cost. Then, as I said earlier, compliance statement should be done by a cost auditor to see what they are doing. Otherwise, we will really not know what is happening, because financial accounting, that is recommended by the IMF. But if you look at the USA total cost of production, that is very efficient. In our countries, it is very inefficient. So we should really try to make it efficient. So the compliance report is also essential, and of course the methods to reduce electricity, we should go and do every time we are coming here, but talking, but we should try to solve the problems. That's, I think, because they are very educated people, and the regulatory, I'm sure the PUC, certainly the regulator, that they will work out all standards and make it mandatory that these are enforced, and they give us the least cost pricing.
ඔබට සුදී සමිත්මා ට්‍රේඩර්ස්